Welcome back to the channel, guys. On the beach again tonight, on a different beach. We're here at Cemlyn. I'm here with my good mate Adrian over there and his partner Cemlyn. I've had these baits in the water for about 10-15 minutes while I was setting the camera and things up. I think I may have had one small knock on the scratching rig. I've thrown a big band of roller goats on a new rig that I'm trying out, a pulley rig made with tri-bit. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully continue my good streak of catching a fish on every session in 2022. Looking all good. First thing I need to do is to level that to there. Close the grips up. That's bait. So on this now is some black hook and some squid. See if there's anything decent out there. It is a kind of venue where anything can pop up from time to time. Hook secured in there. Do you want to look at this rig, Adrian? Do you want to look at this? No. Clips into there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then it just pulls down on the string.
It's good, isn't it?
theory.
In theory, yeah.
Yeah, alright, you're on camera. So, do you want to say hello? Right, so this is Adrian. Good mate of mine, grew up together in Bangor. We've known him since about the 1980s sometime. Oh, even a bit more than that, even. A little bit. We used to fish together lots of times with Bangor Angling Club. We used to be against each other quite often.
Yes.
Yeah. We used to be first and second in the junior leagues every year.
Back a long time, so.
And we had a lot of fun. And we hope it carries on. Hi tightliners. Another session planned for tonight. So I've been making some rigs up. So what I've got some new little bits. I've got some stuff from Trident Tackle Development. I've got the Hangover thing to try, and I've also got what they call the pulley system. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I'll get another one for you. They come in all sorts of different colours. Pulley. Anyway, so as you can see, I've made one up. So what we've got is we've got the pulley up the top here. We've got some links that they make there and at the bottom. And then what they also have is you've got these big clips. You put your lead on first, clip it in, then you clip to there, and then what happens is that you lock your baited hook into place like that. I'll attach that to your main line, and there you have a really nice pulley clip. So what happens is when it hits the water, that flicks the switch there, and you've got your rig ready to rock and roll. So let's put one together. So we're going to try a pulley rig. Right, first thing, rig body. Measure a length of line, length of your arm to your chin, and a few centimetres beyond the chin. First thing we're going to do is we're going to secure a clip to the bottom. Four twists. This rig body is an 80-pound rig body, and we clip off the tag end like that. Right, so we've got our first clipped onto the bottom there like that. Right, so the next thing is the actual pulley. So what we do is we push it in through the bottom, through the top hole, and then back through the bottom hole. So what you have is that will slide up and down there like that. So the next job now is put another clip at the top. So same knot again. So I loop back, over both lines on the loop. Pull it tight, give it a good wetting, and pull that tube by the, just use that to help me, and there we go. Clip the tag end. Right, so there's your rig body. So we've got this pulley system that pulls up that way, and it pulls back up the other way. Right, so what we do is that we clip our lead to the bottom there. So the lead sits there, and then we've got our system going up and down there like that. Okay, right. Next thing we need to do is think about our hook length. Right, so with our hook length, we want it a little shorter than the rig body. So before I went to there, didn't I? And then a bit more. This time, length of the arm to the chin and cut. Tie it on to the end here. The hook length is £30 Amnesia in the lime green colour. And then what I've got then is I've got my two hooks, two Variva's Big Mouth one nose, because I don't know what we will be looking for tonight. So tie that on. So there, cut the tag end. Got my line, mixed it. And tag end. Right, so what we have now is we have a fully functioning pennel rig, a pulley pennel rig. So what we'll have is, that will go off to the main line. Bait the hook, clip it onto the, clip it onto there, and then what we have is we have a very streamlined rig ready for casting. So it hits the water, releases that, and then obviously what we're looking for, hopefully, is that the fish grabs onto that, we're pulling up from the rod tip, and the weight comes up, and then hopefully the fish will come along with a little bit of a fight, I hope. And that's the pulley rig. And the other rig that I want to show you is the up and over. This one is a pennel one. Again, so obviously link your lead onto there with the bait clip. baited hook sits in there, and the clip. Now that hook is stuck in there now, okay, and it will not come away. Bring the loop of your hook length up and hook it on to the hangover clip, and there we go. Don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see the hangover clip moving up and down as I pull tension on the line. Then as it hits the water, the clip unders, and then you've got that ready to catch a fish. Right, so I've already cut myself some rig body, tie a clip to it, make sure it's nice and tight. And clip the tag end away. Okay, so the next thing is that we thread on a crimp followed by a bead followed by a bead, swivel, another bead and another crimp. Push them down to the bottom there. I won't clip them down just yet. Then at the top end, we're going to use the hangover. Now these pack of 12, about £2.50 on eBay. So a crimp, the spring, then the little hangover, and we need to make sure that the lip is upright so that we can hang our line to it later on. And then another crimp, and again I'm not going to crimp those down, I'm not going to tighten them yet. And then at the top, to link to the main line, a swivel. Could use one of Trident's own clips, but I'm running out of them, so I'm going to keep hold of them for a bit. And tie it on 2, 3, 4, and pull. Down that goes. Right, so we've got our main body. I'm going to bring the first crimp about 2 inches away from the bottom clip and tie it down. I'm just using pliers. You can get crimping tools, which are probably better, which will probably do less damage to everything in the end. Right, so they're tied, but I'm still not going to tie or crimp down the spring end yet. Again, Amnesia, £30 in this green colour. Knock off the tag end. Right, so from here now, I'm going to put my lead back on to make things a little easier to measure up. The lead down. I'm going to bring line up in a loop. I'm going to pull down towards the clip at the bottom, and just by the clip I'm going to snip off by there. Snip that off by there. Next thing, I'm going to put a little bit of silicone tubing onto the line and take it down to the rig body's swivel. What I'm told this does, it helps to spring the line away from the rig body so that it lies flatter for you in the water. Right, that should come over the knot and over the swivel. Just a little bit of pressure on it and it will go eventually. So it ends up on the knot there like that. If you can get it further up, brilliant. Okay, the hook. 1/0 big mouth Variva. That, trim off the end. Right, so what we should have is that we can clip that into the clip, the lever clip, like that. That is now absolutely solid, it won't come away from there at all. Then I can bring the loop up and attach that to the hangover clip there. Now, this is the reason why I haven't done anything with attaching the hangover yet. So what I'm going to do is I bring the spring up and and the crimp up to there. Now what you don't want is for the line to be already compressing your spring. So bring it right up there, just dropped it. So clip on, keep hold of the hangover clip. Bring the crimp back up, and now I can crimp that in place, knowing that that line sits nicely there, and then do the top one as well. Remembering not to put any tension on the spring. Right, so there we have it. The spring moves up and down, and it'll hit the water. And right, eyeliners, nothing doing as yet. 3 of us, no bites to be talking about properly yet. Coming up to low water now. Hopefully, on the change of the tide, things will start picking up. Dewch yn ôl mewn chydig. Oh yeah? Bait on here now. There's a big bait on there. So I got a bait. There's a big bait on there. So there's a knock on the big bait. Yeah, it's probably just a doggy playing with it. But it looks like it, you know.
Yeah.
The hooks aren't particularly massive either.
No.
But
Don't take it deep.
Waiting as well, though, yeah? But that didn't look like a waiting light. So it's there now, look. And there's the pulley rig working well. And there's the Trident pulley rig working well. It's doing what it's meant to do. And there's doggy number 2. You greedy pig. It wasn't meant for you. Meant for something much bigger than you. A fish is a fish. Another whiting. They're fairly decent sized whiting. So I'm keeping them alive in the bucket, and if I get a few more, then there might be a whiting catch and cook. Nothing on, nothing big. And a very lively, is that on there? Yeah. And a very lively strap conger to add to my species for this season. 7 species caught this season now. It's time to creep up. Nowhere near as good as Adrian's, and he's legging it off because he's just seen one hell of a bite on his rod there now. Almost bent double. I'll unhook him and get him back. Doggy. Let's have a look at the size of the bait that it's taking. Huge bait. Not really intended for a doggy. Knowing that there's big hungers out there. That's only one. Yeah. Taking 2 hooks on the pennel. Straight down there. Right, we're winding up this session, guys. Finished off with a double pin whiting. Turned out into not a bad session in the end. So I think it was about 6 whiting, 2 dogs and a strap conger. Could have been worse.